Alaska Real Estate starts right now. Today, Brian with MLS, he's here to talk about scams. Dodie Kettler, Wes Madden, Dale Bagley, and Kevin Cross, they're all here to talk about real estate all across Alaska and how to put Facebook to work for you. Miss a minute, you could miss a million. Alaska Real Estate Podcast made possible in part by the good folks at Alaska Housing Finance Corporation, bringing Alaskans access to safe, affordable, and efficient housing online at ahsc.us, and be sure to stay up to date on the energy rebate program at akrebate.com. Please welcome the bad boy of Alaska MLS.
My name is Brian Keith, and I'm the Customer Services Manager here at Alaska MLS. And unfortunately, that also means that whenever there's these real estate scams, I'm the one that they get reported to, and I compile them and try to just spread the word and help everyone keep up to date on what's going on.
We'll talk about those scams because right now I'm getting pinged by people from all over about a couple of listings that I have that are up on Craigslist for rent, and obviously they're not for rent, and it's a scam to get money out of people. But talk about maybe the top one or two scams you're seeing, and then maybe what we as members should do once we detect a scam.
Right. So, okay, so the one that you are talking about that's happening to you is the most common by far. And notice that you've been getting phone calls, but the scammers are they're really not trying to get your money necessarily, right? They're trying to get some poor guy who thinks that they're a legitimate
landlord. Yeah, exactly.
And that's the most common. And this is also unfortunately the hardest one as agents to avoid doing, because your listing information is out there on the internet. Anybody could copy and paste that and make a semi-legitimate looking Craigslist ad.
Right.
And basically, there's two ways that these guys are trying to get money from the general public. The less creative ones are going for the anytime you fill out a lease agreement, they'll ask for a fee for a credit report check, and that's $25 to $40 typically, and they'll gather a few of those and not call anyone back and then disappear. And so for a relatively little amount of work, they've got a couple $40 bills and called it quits. And then there's the more aggressive ones that take it to another level, and they meet with the people. They give them a set of keys that are obviously fake. Take the first and last month's rent, and basically the same MO, but they tend to get a lot more money and cause a lot more damage that way. So, I mean, the best way to avoid that is there almost isn't one other than just being very vigilant and checking up on yourself on Craigslist. If you have listings, do a search for your address, or the number of beds and baths is another one. That typically in a Craigslist posting, the tagline will be the numbers of beds and baths. That's what people want to know. So that's really the only way to avoid that is to keep an eye on that sort of thing, and to watch out for your fellow professionals as well. If you see one that looks fishy, if you report it to them, then they're a lot less likely to get any money off anyone.
Well, and let's talk about once it's found. If you're, as you said, vigilant and you find your own listing on the Craigslist, what's the first step we should do? Contact Craigslist, you, the police. What's the order of that?
The first step should be to contact Craigslist to get it off there, just so you're minimizing any damage that these people are causing. Secondly, I would contact your local law enforcement. Of course, call the non-emergency number. The key with helping law enforcement catch these folks is specifics. Especially if you are one of the folks that have had the unfortunate circumstance of having people show up at your listing or your property. Don't let those poor guys that got scammed get away without getting their name, finding out more about them so you can pass that on so law enforcement can possibly talk to those people as well. Sometimes this happens and everyone kind of shrugs and says, oh darn, and they go home and don't talk about it. So it's really key to get as many specifics as possible.
And now let's talk Alaska real estate with our All-Alaskan Realtor Roundtable. Please welcome Kevin Cross, Wes Madden, Dodie Kettler, and Dale Bagley.
Kevin, how did 2012, the first quarter of 2012, compare to the first quarter, say, of last year, or your expectations of what 2012 were going to start out like for the real estate market?
Well, we had a lot of large development projects that were hinging on how our real estate market was going to pan out, and it's very fortunate with the large expansion in 3 mining developments, Pogo Mine, Usabelli Coal Mine, and Doblin Creek Mine, as well as the approval of Susitna Dam project. All those things have really energized what I believe. Spurring our economy, we're seeing phenomenal absorption rates. What we have is we have the lowest inventory of homes that we've seen in 5 years, but our absorption rates, it means the amount of houses pending, are the highest that we've seen in 3 years.
Dodie, what about you? First quarter 2012 is behind us. Did it compare to what you thought it would be? And what's your take on this market so far?
Yeah, I think it compared to what we were expecting. We were pretty slow starting out the first quarter out here in the valley. We had the same as Anchorage, the lowest inventory we've had for years. We are still down about 12% in inventory right now, so we haven't seen the surge hit the market that we expect to see by this time. And sold homes, believe it or not, in Palmer are down significantly right now, about 27%. Up in Wasilla, though. The average sales price is stable, down a little in Palmer, stable in Wasilla, and the big thing that Kevin hit on is our pendings are up dramatically. So I suspect second quarter is going to see that big surge that we were hoping for.
West Fairbanks area in your market, how did the first quarter of 2012 do as far as your perspective is concerned to last year? Any surprises or what you expected?
Well, we actually had more pending and closed sales than the last 3 years. So first quarter was great. I think it was mostly spurred by several things. One, low interest rates, and the big thing happening up here is the pending move of 800 to 1,500 airmen from Eielson Air Force Base. So that's kind of taken a lot of buyers that are looking to purchase in our market have turned from North Pole and looked at Fairbanks as a safer option. So Fairbanks has been really solid thus far. We're just over 6 months inventory.
Dale, what about the peninsula?
Yeah, we're pretty much seeing the same thing. I would even go so far to say it was better than maybe the last 5 years. Very, very busy. Low interest rates have been leading to that activity. I also think that maybe people are thinking things are getting better on the national level, and while our economy is still fine here, they've been worried about the national things and are now willing to start spending money. So I think the combination of those two have made for a really hard real estate market.
Well, Dale, while I've got you, then what's your forecast for the remainder of the year as far as you're concerned? Not just
I don't
pending
see
sales.
it slowing down anytime soon. And from talking with people in banking and what I read online, I'm hearing that low interest rates may stick around for at least a couple more years. So that'll be interesting.
And Wes, are interest rates the real driving factor as far as you're concerned of what's moving the market forward right now?
Well, I know in Fairbanks and North Pole, we're running out of the rental market saturated. We're a military town. We brought back 4,000 troops. A lot of them aren't because of their time left here in our area is short. They don't have the ability to purchase a home because they're going to be here less than a year or less than 18 months or so. And so the rental market's just completely saturated. So market rents went up, and it's kind of it's almost forced a lot of folks to have to buy in order to secure housing. To be honest with you,
Kevin, what about you? What's your predictions for the coming quarters ahead?
I think there's still going to be, as long as the inventory of existing homes stay low, and along with interest rates remaining low, our absorption rates are going to be ridiculously high. I would say of our 17 to 20 pendings that we have currently with Cross and Associates, 5 or 6 of those are houses that we actually sold before they hit market, and many of them had multiple offers. There would have to be either a significant increase in interest rates or a sudden surge of inventory of homes in order to placate our current absorption rate.
Let's talk about social media. Kevin, are you using Facebook as an aspect of your marketing and real estate business? And if you're not, why not? And is there a right or wrong way to use it in business, in your opinion?
Yes, it is. It's critical. I love Facebook. I probably sell I would say 12 transactions a year. We typically do anywhere from 83 to 110 transactions a year. And I tell you what, I would say at least 12 to 15 a year come from Facebook. And that is, it's important that you're not pushing real estate stuff continually. You know what? People don't go on Facebook because they're looking for houses. They go on Facebook because they want to socialize with friends. And so typically what I do is I'd like to put lots of witty stuff out there, information, humorous things about me, my family, my two mildly frustrating boys, and stuff that gets people's comments, because the more they engage in your conversation, the more that you increase your page rank, or you're showing up on Facebook. And then occasionally, once every 2 or 3 days, throwing something out there like, oh man, phenomenal deal, just locked a client at 3.5, or man, I can't believe we just sold this house and had 2 offers in our first 4 days or 3 days on market, with occasional things like that.
Dodie, what about yourself? Are you using Facebook to advance your real estate business, and is there a right or wrong way to use it?
Yeah, absolutely. I use both a business page and a personal page, although I believe the personal page does reap more benefits than the business page, actually, because I do the whole relating thing to my clients, and that is huge, that I can be a part of their life. I think more than the stuff that I post, it's the comments that I make on their pages that keep them kind of linked to me, knowing that I'm interested in what's going on in their lives, past and future. And I have also received numerous closings last year and this year from my social media network, friends and family and clients.
Dale, do you use Facebook as part of your brokerage or your personal real estate business?
Yes, I and I've been actually taking some classes through the chamber on developing the site for your business and how to use it. I think that if you use your personal site for business, it's going to have a negative result, but you can certainly use your one for your business, your bricks and mortar place, and do it that way.
It won't help your business if you use your personal page. By that, do you mean don't paste listings into your personal page? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think if you're putting a bunch of stuff in there about, listing this house or land and whatnot, people aren't going to appreciate that and maybe even defriend you. But if you keep it in the right place, I think it works out real well.
They'll find you. Wes, what about yourself? Is Facebook an aspect of your marketing?
Well, we do. We have like Dale said, I got my personal Facebook account, and then we've got one for Madden Real Estate there, and we've had potential sellers and buyers contact us through Facebook. So I think that Facebook's not for everybody, but for the folks that are habitual users of Facebook, it's the way that they communicate, with friends and businesses. So I think you need to be there, and it's a great way to post all the great stuff you do. I mean, we participate in a lot of charity events and fundraisers, and it's a great way to get out there and show the public what we're doing.
The other side, you're not just selling and doing real estate.
I mean, it's great. We had a buyer specialist got a bouquet of flowers the other day, so we were able to post on there that that she received them, and then people chime in. So it's just a great way to communicate with the public, and it goes, like you said, it goes viral.
Hi, this is Michelle Stewart with Alaska USA Title Agency in Wasilla. We currently serve Alaskans at our 5 locations in Anchorage, Wasilla, Kenai, Fairbanks, and Juneau. Because of the support of our great customers in the communities that we serve, Alaska USA Title Agency is considering expansion into other areas statewide to better serve all Alaskans. I'm both excited about our growth and thankful to each of you that have trusted us with your title and escrow needs. Should you or your clients have any questions regarding refinances, purchases, relos, REOs, cert-to-plats, commercial transactions, or anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of our experienced escrow or title officers. We're happy to take your call, and we're happy that you've chosen Alaska USA Title Agency. You can reach us at www.akusatitle.com.
Alaska USA Mortgage Company is here for you anytime and anywhere all across Alaska. Alaska USA Mortgage, a name you know and people you trust. With mortgage experts in every corner of Alaska, you know that Alaska USA Mortgage is in your corner. Get all the latest news and rates online, alaskausamortgage.com. There you have it, Alaska Real Estate in a nutshell. Sandy Ehrenman's your executive producer. For all of us at Alaska Real Estate Podcast, I'm Chris Story, wishing you health, wealth, and prosperity.